Greetings fellow YouTubers, this is INX, and today we're doing a video review on Transformers Studio Series War for Cybertron Megatron. Apologies if you can hear a fan going on in the background, it's really hot, I can't leave it off. But anyway, here's Megatron in tank mode, just to start it off. And it's pretty nice. It is the hover tank, so it doesn't roll at all. Scrapes across the ground, but I mean, it looks accurate. Looks like the thing. It's got some nice paint work. I see some purple there, nice silver, metallic red on top, and of course the barrel. So you can plug his mace back there if you want to do that for some reason. It looks dumb, so therefore it is dumb. It goes back over there. So, yeah, I guess now we move on to the transformation. Here we have Megatron in his robot mode. Starting off by taking a good look at the details on him. Pretty nice. I did just notice I got a little paint chip right there, so be cautious of that. But yeah, really nice. It's got some dark energon flowing through him. It is a little small. I mean, there's my thumb, so it is pretty small. Nice details, some rivets. Fusion cannon is accurate to the game, and he cleans up pretty well. There's no kibble at all on his back. It's just smooth surface. So zooming back out, we're gonna move into articulation, and he's got a decent bit of it. However, there's one little quirk we'll get to. It's got a swivel at the head, so you can look left and right. Hinge arms, and then also swivel. Double jointed elbows. Whoop, I accidentally revealed the gimmick a little bit. However, the thing with the elbows is that the butter is that, so he's got bicep swivels, right? Right there. But they turn this direction. So he can only kind of, so instead of his whole arm turning, if you want him to, like, say, like, cross his arms, he has to, like, well, this isn't gonna work, is it? He has to, like, fold his whole body around like that kind of thing, which is a little, it's just a little odd looking, but it's fine. Nothing at the wrist. Waist swivel. Legs that go up, not that far, really far back. Do the splits. Now, this is the kind of controversy this figure has. There's a little hook tab right here meant for transformation that actively prevents the leg here from bending any farther than right there. Now, you can snip that off, or you could even just undo the kibble like so, and then bend the knee to get a bigger range. But yeah, it's a really weird design choice to have the knee. Again, you can tell by the sculpt work on the back. I've seen some people think it's a QC issue, like, oh, remember these are supposed to be on, like, on this side. No, you can see, like, by the sculpt work, it's supposed to be this way. It was deliberately designed to not let his knee bend farther than there. It's a really weird decision. But then anyway, back on track, you can hinge his ankles up and down and, you know, do some pivots. So he's got a great range of articulation. It is just that one little hiccup at the knees that kind of just boil it down. I don't think it's enough to ruin the figure like a lot of other people think it is, because again, it's plastic. You can cut it off. This isn't like die-cast metal or like something that's like going to be a pain in the ass. You know, it's not backwards where you have to push out the mushroom peg pin and stuff like that. No, it's just you cut those off if the lack of knee bend really bugs you, and then that's it. That's basically all you have to do. But yeah, so in terms of accessories, he obviously has his cannon, but he's also got the mace, which is kind of dumb. For some reason, the handle is not 5mm port, just this bottom piece, so it's looks really weird. This is something I can definitely see that third-party company DNA Design making an upgrade kit for. That's basically just a 5mm peg. That this all just is just a 5mm peg. I can definitely see that being an upgrade, but yeah, putting that off to the side. We gotta talk about the last gimmick, which is the thing with the Fall of Cybertron Studio Series figures. I'm sorry, War for Cybertron. We're not at Fall of Cybertron yet. You can take the arm off and plug like his fusion cannon into the arm, and yeah, that just looks dumb. It looks dumb. Just put it on his arm. In fact, I'm probably gonna put a piece of paper around this, maybe even some masking tape, go Gundam style with it, and plug it on so that way this stays in place, so it just kind of plugs in there. But yeah, pretty cool figure. And for size comparison, here he is next to mainline Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime Studio Series Deluxe Ironhide. And I really like the way these two look with each other, which is good because I still don't have the Optimus from this line. So this gets my brain flowing. This gets the ideas flowing in my brain. And lastly, here he is next to his original Deluxe from 2012 and Studio Series Age of Extinction Galvatron. And this kind of brings up a second problem a lot of people have been having, which is the size. Obviously, we're going to ignore this because this is obvious, right? 2012 Deluxes are not made the same as modern Deluxes, okay? Him being almost the size of this Voyager is just because, well, that's the time frame. Not to mention, both him, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Soundwave, the originals from this line, were all Deluxes. So, Megatron and Optimus were designed to be just a hair bit taller than those guys in the first place, so they all still work with one another. So we have to also keep that in mind. And you can even tell that by how simple this Megatron's transformation is. Like, obviously I can't demonstrate because this is not a review on this guy, it's a review on this guy. But, and I don't have the fusion cannon, but like, you can kind of figure it out. It's like, all mainly in the arms. The arms are the part that mainly transform, where everything else just kind of bends around. But then the main thing is obviously the size, because these are both Voyagers in Studio Series and they cost the same. However, there's a very big quality difference here. You see, Megatron is standard Voyager size, where Galvatron's a lot bigger. This is because in Studio Series, the way Voyagers are done is way different than in main. Seeing like stuff like Legacy, the Voyagers are all, the price tags are no longer a scale system, they're a price tag based off the engineering. So if you're paying for a Deluxe, it's because the transformation is really simple. Same thing for a core class, where if you're buying a Voyager, it's a little more complicated, but overall not that hard. Or if you buy a leader class, it's extremely complicated. But in Studio Series, it's all about the scale. So because of that, everybody kind of has a different size to them. So obviously, Voyager class, you're supposed to be pretty big, where in leader class, you're even bigger, And they sometimes will do the Legacy thing, like the Dark of the Moon Optimus comes with the jetpack, and he's a leader class, but it's just a slight retool of the Voyager first movie Optimus, that kind of thing. So obviously when you think Voyager, you would think in Studio Series that this Megatron would match this one. However, it's very clear that they decided to cut the height on the War for Cybertron figures and make them standard Voyager height, like again with, Rise of the Beast Optimus, in order to make the toys way more solid and way more functional, as opposed to sticking to the size thing. Because although, again, Galvatron here is a really good toy, you can tell the limitations and that the budget primarily went into getting him to transform into a super movie accurate robot mode into a pretty accurate truck mode. And the obvious problems with both of those being, well, there's a lot of robot mode stuff exposed in truck mode, and in robot mode, he's quite hollow in a lot of places. So it's just kind of the compromise the Studio Series engineers and designers have to make, because Studio Series is meant to be a lot more complicated in its engineering because it's movie based. But since these guys are G1 based in terms of their designs, they're allowed to be a lot more simple, which also allows them to do a lot more with them in terms of the overall quality, such as, again, Megatron here being dense. There's very little hollow plastic exposed on here. So it's just kind of a thing to notice that, yeah, compared to movie Voyagers, he's really short. But then again, when you compare him to standard Voyagers, which I guess this is technically a bad example because it's supposed to be a movie toy, but again, you compare that, and again, very much, again, Voyager size, different Voyager size. It is just different mindsets amongst the different engineers, because let's also not forget, these were made by different people too. So there you guys have it. That was a very long-winded review on Transformers Studio Series War for Cybertron Megatron. It's a pretty cool toy. Like, some people are throwing fits over this line, and I don't get it. Like, yeah, the knee thing, that is a really dumb decision, but again, you can fix that. It's not like a complicated thing. We gotta remove the pin or swap it out, or Hasbro's gotta give you fake, or they gotta re-release it. It's just, you cut that off. In fact, if Hasbro does re-release it, you know what they're gonna do? Cut that off. So just cut it off if it really bothers you. It bothers me, so I'm gonna cut it off eventually, maybe. I don't know. I don't mess with. I don't always take my Transformers down all that much. I may not even notice, but who knows? But yeah, overall, it is a really good figure. It just has some quirks that you gotta work out, which seems to be kind of the thing with all of the War for Cybertron figures so far, is that they're good. They just have just a itty bitty quick, little tiny quirks. Like I've heard that the original, the Optimus, has like some of the plastic feels a little flimsy, and then you got stuff like the Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee, who are good, but they're missing their torso, and the engineering's a little odd. And then you get to Barricade, and he's fun to pose. I guess that's the only positive I've heard from it, is that it's fun to pose. So yeah. But yeah, Megatron here is great. And again, having him next to a mainline Rise Prime here, that gets my display brain going. That makes me think of some stuff I could do with that. I feel like these might be my de facto Optimus and Megatron. Who knows? You know, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, maybe comment down below, and subscribe. And while you're at it, check out my other videos on the channel and my social medias in the description down below. And until next time, you guys, peace.